Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joanne Chestnut again coming to you live from my home. Yes, I have the same shirt on. I'm rocking my daughter, Coach Bree Nichols, a Rose from Concrete. This is her gear. And so I have two videos with the shirt on because I did videos back to back. Yes, y'all, I ain't just not changing my clothes. So I wanted to come back on because I wanted to talk about something else today, which is what fuels our us getting to our purpose. How do we get there? What are those steps? Some people just know, like Kobe Bryant, that when I was a child, I loved to play basketball. I want to play ball. Some singers that say they've been singing all their lives. Some hairdressers that just lead to their purpose. They're doing what they meant to do and they've been doing it all their lives. But what about those of us who get to our purpose out of pain? People telling you what you can't do, what you're going to be, or what you'll never aspire to be. Things that have just changed your life. Remember those early childhood events I talked about? Or those adverse childhood events, things that happened to you in your childhood, in your past? Or even in your adulthood, bad marriages, bad relationships, or people who have really just deceived you and did so many wrong things that you didn't think you could ever love or trust again, right? Those things. Loss of loved ones through violence and death, unnecessary violence and death, just those things that draw out a lot of emotion in you, and they're painful, and you can be on one side or the other of your pain, and those two different sides are bitter or better, right? Because if something hurts you and devastates you so bad, you become bitter, right? Your heart is closed, it's hardened, you can't hear anymore, you're jaded, you can't learn from other people, you can't love again, you just can't move on because that pain has stagnated you, it's crippled you, right? You can't see past that pain. Every new thing that happens reminds you of that pain. And that's the one side of it, right? That's the bitter side. But then you have the better side. And the only thing in those two words is the I. And I is when you choose to say, I choose to be better and not bitter. And when you choose to be better because of your pain, guess what? A passion gets coupled with it. So you got pain that you add passion to. Oh, my. Think of passion, the word, something you feel so strongly about. When you hear people say crime of passion, what does that really mean? Crime of passion mean they did something and they just couldn't stop it with so much emotion involved. But let's not look at the negative part of passion. Let's look at the positive part of it. Someone who does something and they love it so much that they do it for free. That's like me with teaching. I don't have to do it for free, but I promise you, if I didn't get paid for it, I would do it for free. I'm a nurse and I happen to be a nurse educator, right? But nursing is what I do for a living. Teaching is my life's work. Teaching and coaching and motivating, it's my life's work. Your life's work has to do with your purpose. It's from God. What you do for a living earns your income, right? And it's what you might go to school for. So out of your pain, you can get your passion. Connect to that passion, that things that make you say, I'm going to do something about this. I'm not going to sit still on this. Oh, they said I can't? I'll never be this. I'll never be that. I'm never going to have this. I'm never going to have that. They want to call out my future. If you're that person. See, for me, I know that pain has always fueled me. It gave me passion to be all that I can be, to reach my higher. The more people tell me what I'm never going to be and I was never going to have, the more I aspired. See, because when you get to that place where you aspire and you have that passion, guess what comes next? Yeah, your purpose. A lot of us found our purpose in the thing that hurt us the most. Our purpose was stuck inside of our pain. And that pain you had to get on the other side of it and bring out the passion of it, right? For you to find your purpose in it. My youngest daughter is a good example. She went through a lot of things in her life and choices that she made and went through some things in her life and was in a situation where she was in a shelter. She talks about that kind of stuff all the time. Choices that she made, because I was a mom and I was a good mom, but you can only raise them, right? You can raise them, you can hold them in your heart forever, but you can only hold their hands for a minute. And when they decide they're going to do something, they do it. You've seen some of the best parents providing the best life for a child, and they should still go astray and do what they're going to do. Or you've seen some children who come from the worst life, from the deepest poverty, and they go on to make. So when she made her own choices, it gave her a hard bed to lay in. But that hard bed was the same bed that she used to elevate her and motivate her. So you see how she used that pain, she added passion to it, and it gave her her purpose, and that's what she does right now. She is walking in her purpose. And guess what you get from the the pain that you add passion to, that you then get into your purpose. And guess what you get then? Power. Yeah, power. Because anytime you're operating in your purpose, you get power. And anything that's operating in the way that it wants to works to the ultimate level, right? When you use something that is working in the power that it belongs in, it has the most power. I'll give you a good example. This is my remote control to my TV in my living room. Works perfectly fine. Changes the TV, does the volume, does everything I want it to do when it's working in its purpose by controlling that TV. But guess what? This remote doesn't work for the TV in the room. It looks exactly like it. But you know how I can tell when I have the wrong remote? Because if I take this remote and I go into my bedroom and I try to use it, I'll be pressing buttons all day, swearing something's wrong with the battery, and it loses its purpose when it's in the wrong place. It don't have the same power when it's in the wrong place. That's ever like you trying to put the curtains up to the wall and you trying to nail it in and you got a shoe and it just ain't working. It ain't getting it in there right. But all of a sudden when you get that hammer or that drill, it works just fine because it's in its purpose. So again, I want to recap. Pain, anything that causes you pain, if you add the right passion to it and make sure you become better and not bitter, not letting people tell you who you are and what you're going to be, but realizing who you are. And every time someone tells you what you can't be and who you're not going to be, make sure you take that energy and you go out and you do something with it. And let that pain turn into passion, and let that passion put you in a purpose, in your purpose, and then you get power there. And go operate in your power, whatever it is. It may not be what you thought it was. Sometimes the things that hurt us the most drive us to what we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives, and we would have never imagined that that's where we were going to be. I know some nurses that were in school for computer science, and I asked them, how did you turn around to nursing? My grandmother died. My auntie passed away. Someone I know was injured or shot, and I took care of them, and that's how I became a nurse. You see, out of that pain, they went in another direction that they hadn't intended for themselves, because pain can do that. It can take you one way or another. And as I talked about that hierarchy of need, that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and as you go forward in it, you will develop the relationships where people nourish you, right? Because sometimes when you've had so much pain, as I said, you shut down. You don't trust people. You don't know how to love. Your heart is closed because of the pain. But slowly, if you get on the other side of that, from the bitter side, and you get on the better side, guess what? You can hear. And as you start moving along, God will send the right people in your life every time. It might be the right people for a period of time, and you think, what's going on? All of a sudden, stuff got getting crazy and chaotic, and people start moving out your life. It's just God making room. Because your purpose changes over time. Your purpose today, my purpose today, is not the same that it was yesterday. And guess what? It will not be the same next year. So sometimes you have to change people, places, and things. That will happen. The people who are meant to stay with you along for your whole journey and your purpose, they will be there, accepting all of your faults, accepting everything about you, understanding you, making an effort to understand you, because they were meant to be in that purpose with you. And those who were not, they will fall off. God will make room. And as a matter of fact, he will make it too uncomfortable for you to stay around those people, places, and things, because your purpose they don't belong there with that. Steve Harvey says this thing all the time: everybody who comes with you can't go with you. So make sure you're not letting people lead you to the wrong purpose by trying to be who someone else said you can be or said you should be. Make sure that the pain that you're experiencing, go through the pain, respect it. Because you got to respect pain. If you don't respect it, it's going to chase you down and kill you. But go through it. Respect that pain. Do what you got to do. And let it change you for the positive. Let it make you grow. Let it develop you and get to your purpose. This is my 15 minutes of faith. If it's God's will, I will see you again. Until then,